Let's begin with what is mobile intelligence? Mobile intelligence, specifically mobile reports and dashboards, is a browser-based solution that can be accessed from any computer or mobile device with an internet connection. This provides your key stakeholders the ability they need to pull information and data while in the office or out in the field. Since mobile intelligence is browser-based, users are not required to log into 300 CRE. Mobile intelligence simply authenticates all of your 300 CRE security and permissions based off of their user profile. That way, users can only see what they have access to. No longer will your users be reliant on running reports from the office or having office staff send them manually. Those reports can now be accessed in real time using mobile intelligence. Mobile intelligence can be broken out into two pieces of functionality. Mobile reports, providing the ability to run crystal reports. These can be either canned or customized from your company via the web, providing the user all of the same parameters, conditions they would need in order to run the report, much like how they do it back in the office. These can be canned crystal reports, just like your JC job overview or your AR aging with detail. Once again, since you may have customized crystal reports, adding these into your mobile reports option is a great way to cascade that information out to field users. And of course, our mobile dashboards, providing you the ability to design and view dashboards via the web, providing those key stakeholders within your company up-to-date information in visual representations of your choice, like graphs, charts, or even lists. You will want to upgrade to version 18.2 in order to take full advantage of our mobile intelligence features. You will access these features from the Sage Construction Central website. Sage Construction Central is our site that allows you to access these web-based features. This site was created specifically for your company to securely connect to your back office data and reporting via a website. I'll be using the rest of the presentation to provide a walkthrough of our mobile reports and dashboards from Sage Construction Central. One moment while I pull up my server. So here on my machine, I have my Sage Construction Central pulled up. I've logged in with my email address and password, calling back to those security parameters based upon not only my access within Sage Construction Central, but also my security access back in 300 CRE. That way it's authenticating all role, job, account, cost code verification to make sure all of the necessary information is either hidden or shown to me as the user. From my left-hand pane, I can easily select Intelligence and open up my first component, which is Mobile Reports. By default, we'll have a few reports that come in here automatically when you set this up for your company. But as you move all throughout Mobile Reports, you'll find that you're able to simply add reports directly from your server. From my plus option here in the top right, I can quickly look at my server to pull in and add additional reports. These will be those crystal-based reports, either canned ones like the job overview or custom ones that you may have set up throughout the years for your company, pulling in job cost information, AP information, or even AR data directly into that crystal report. From there, it'll show up in my list of available reports to run. Here I have a few AP summary, AR aging, compliance reports, and you notice some different key fields all throughout this grid. Specifically, I have the ability to quickly remove this report if I added it an error, but also star options to indicate favorite reports. This is a great way for your field users to quickly get to reports that they use day in and day out or are running specifically to them. We can also set up groups in order to group together certain reports in regards to application, perhaps by accounts payable, AR, etc., or simply by name, making it easy enough for my users out in the field to find the reports they need easily and quickly. Now, when adding a report, you'll see some different fields that we can add further context when setting up a new report. Over here, calling back to those groups where I can either set up new groups or pull in others as well. And it's looking for its best fit in order to match up those reports with a specific group that already exists or create a new one. All depending upon my workflow for my business to make sure I can make this visible for my users out in the field. Keywords. This is also a great way to categorize what the report is doing, as well as, let's say it's a report that I really like and I want to add my name. What this does with the keywords is it makes this specific report searchable. So I can say, this is for a specific job on Northwest Foods, or any other information I want to add so that when I search for my report, it's easily findable. Over here on my left, I can give a brief description of the report as well as instructions. This is a great way for your field employees to know exactly what they're supposed to put in, if there's certain parameters to the report when I'm running it. Coming back to my report list here and looking at my all. So from my search box at the top, I can easily type in if I want to say, all aging reports. It'll do a best fit and not only look for the report name, description, or keywords that hold that word, but also any other words that it may have. Calling back to those, maybe I put my name in a key field somewhere. It's going to give me everything that may have had that name related to it. There you go. Or it's got my name in the report name, but also in the keywords. When I'm running a report, such as an AP summary, I'm going to get all of the same, vendor lookups, date fields, period lookups, all like I would see back in 300 CRE. That way I can easily generate my report as a PDF or an Excel sheet, depending on what I need out in the field. In generating that report, what it's going to do is deliver it to my inbox over there on the left with my little green icon, telling me, hey, there's a report available for you to view. So I can fire off these reports while I'm out in the field, and as they're processing, I can do other things. That way I can either start it first thing in the morning because I know I'm going to read it at lunch. Or if I'm going through some items and I just want to run a quick report, I can easily do that and have the information delivered to my inbox here within the system. I can easily pull up my reports based upon what I'm looking at. So I can pull up here my report, and it's going to open up a new tab and give me that report real time. At this point, I can download the file, print it if I have a field printer out there, giving me that information real time. Now, once these reports are added to your mobile reports menu, all the data is pulling real time to make sure you're getting that information immediately. That way, as you're running these reports and pulling up different pieces of information, I'm able to generate these PDFs, calling back to my lookups within 300, typing in IDs, job names, whatever is required, so it's running those reports appropriately. Now, since we're accessing this from a browser, it does have responsive design to recognize how I'm accessing my site. So I can see from here, it contours to the screen real estate available. So I can easily collapse my side or simply move on to another report, tapping with my finger from my iPad. Easily pulling up my report, filling out the information once again, and then having that delivered to my inbox over here on the left, and I'm able to pull that up from my screen. So you'll see that regardless of whether they're accessing it in the office or out in the field, they're able to get to these mobile reports quickly and easily. And we'll move along to the next component, which has had a lot of buzz and popularity, which will be the mobile dashboards. So from my mobile dashboards, I'm able to take a look at all my different options in terms of, bar charts, graphs, line charts, and things like that make most sense to me. And let me hop back to my regular view here. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. So when I'm looking at my mobile dashboards here, I'm able to view, create, or import dashboards based upon what I'm trying to accomplish. Out of the box, your mobile reports and dashboards will have the ability, why it's pulling up there, to have canned dashboards set up for you automatically. One moment, please, while I toggle this back to my desktop view. So with our dashboards, it has two specific parts. Report parts, which build out the dashboard. Those can be your pie charts, line charts. And those report parts are the visual representations of the data back in my 300 CRE database. That way, when I take a look at perhaps a bar chart, in this dashboard, it's showing me that information in a much more resonating fashion. So I can see quickly and easily my top vendors for specific information. And this is pulling data once again from the 300 CRE database real time. So once I've set up these parts and dashboards, this data is going to update automatically. Now with that, I jump back to my other dashboards. I'll see here as well, I have a gauge dashboard set up where in this specific report part and dashboard, I have some custom gauges set up to outline open retainage for specific vendors. That way I've set up certain thresholds to say, green is where we're wanting to operate in, yellow is bearable, red is absolutely unacceptable. That way I can see at a quick glance what's going on with these specific vendors and their open retainage. Now with these specific parts of a dashboard, I can either import these from my canned or build them out. These parts can cover accounts payable, AR, property management, job cost, whatever you're looking to display within your actual dashboard. You can see from here, if you're familiar with our backend database, are all of the actual records from your 300 CRE. At the very top, I can easily type in some search terms to pull in all the applicable records that I may want to use for my report part. And from here, I can see some AP vendor information, AP vendor check. But what I'm looking for is specifically AP possibly vendor. Now, once I've selected that record, I'm then able to design out the part for my dashboard. And this is where I can pick those charts, forms, grids, even maps with some up-to-date releases. That way I can build out and customize this information by easily dragging and dropping it into what I'm looking for based upon the part I've selected. So with my chart, let's say I want to access vendor as my starting, and I can also pull in some totals as well to build out even further. That way the chart over on the right gives me a quick preview of exactly what I'm building. So if I swap the two fields, it gives me a preview once again of what's going on for that specific vendor. I can then create separators to say, for different vendors, give me different breakups. So I can say, instead of the separators for on the Y, I can put that there. And also just kind of manipulate the information to dictate exactly what I'm looking for. I can create labels in order to dictate what's going on from there, dollar values, as well as color codings to indicate thresholds or overall shadings within the actual dashboard or report part. Once I've built out those report parts, I'm adding them into my dashboard. Out of the box, we automatically load several different dashboards and reports to use right out of the gate. So I can quickly and easily build AP dashboards, AR dashboards right out of the box, pulling directly from my database. So here's a quick one that I whipped together before the presentation to dictate all of this graphical information that's pertinent to my accounts payable department. This also means that you can set up certain dashboards for certain users in your office, and those are the only dashboards they can see. So I can quickly see open amounts by vendor, also open invoice totals with that cool gauge that I set up, open retainage, and even cost code breakdowns and totals by date. With a lot of this information displayed, I can quickly get to different dashboards to make sure, let's say, I want to pull up now my job cost dashboard. So I can see what's going on within job cost, as well as customize this to facilitate certain jobs, and also filter the information even further if I'm looking for specific records. Let's say just top 5. So although the information is displayed, you can always easily manipulate and edit and modify directly from here to make sure you can get to the information you're looking for. So once these are set up for your admin users or key stakeholders, all they're really having to do is come in and double check this information when they need it. And once again, calling back to that iPad view, they can easily get to that directly from any mobile device. Oh, sorry about that. My toggles here are acting up. There we go. To display that information from their mobile device or for the iPad and things like that to make sure that they can get to those details accordingly. Now, once all of that is set up, they can quickly get to that information by logging in with their email address and password, and also building out specific dashboards for those executive users. So rather than just seeing AP information or AR information, they could put it all into one for like a executive dashboard. That way they can look at key points within AP, key points within job costs, and key points within AR to easily get to that information in a much more meaningful way. We also have a presentation mode that allows maybe a project manager, where you may have a meeting every single week with all the project managers meet up with management to verify what's going on with the job and where it's at. The presentation mode allows you to turn the dashboard into almost like a PowerPoint. So I can easily transition through my different dashboards and parts to show the information on screen. If there's some updated information, I can update the results from here automatically and kind of force the update, giving me the latest information I may need for that specific presentation. This is a great way as well to take a look at our project summary dashboard that comes out of the box of the system, as it displays all of that pertinent information that I may need to make those decisions specific to a project, either on budget, over budget, pulling all of that in for profitability all on one screen, and also within a presentation mode. And of course, this is a very highly customizable solution, so you can facilitate colors and thresholds if a job is in progress, but a certain estimate or let's say, cost is over a certain amount. I can change these to be red, yellow, and green to indicate visually my eyes are going to pop to that specific section when it hits a specific threshold. Now, to leave enough room for questions, I want to make sure we review what we've gone over today and kind of wrap up here for review. So with a lot of the pieces we've taken a look at to start with our mobile reports, we looked at a way to add reports as well as ways to designate favorites in order to easily find that report within our mobile intelligence, delivering that report directly to my inbox, and once again reiterating all of the security and access we can implement that authenticates back to my 300 CRE database. And for my dashboards, those are built out into parts in regards to charts, forms, and gauges to make sure that I can view that information directly from one dashboard. One thing to also note is those dashboards and report parts can pull from different databases. That means rather than switching and toggling between companies back in 300 for reporting, you can set up dashboards where one specific grid is your company A, one specific pie chart is company B, but it pulls all of the open job amounts or job estimates from company C all on one dashboard, empowering your key stakeholders to see that information real time without having to go through a lot of the menus and reports they may do now. And once again, calling back to those dashboards to make sure they're not only efficiently running, but also easily accessible based upon the database permissions.